What do you do with the team which won 8-1 last time out? Gordon Strachan has the answer to that one. Leave it exactly as it is. No changes to the side, which demolished Dunfermline. Alan Thompson is injured but would have been on the bench. Shinzuki Nakamura stays among the subs. Front pair matches, Zurawski and John Hartson have 32 goals between them. Aberdeen are without top scorer Jamie Smith, the former Celtic player, injured late on against Falkirk 2 weeks ago. But rather than replace him with another striker, Steenie Crawford or Darren Mackey, Jimmy Calderwood has added another midfielder to his team in Neil McFarlane. Crawford and Mackey are on the bench. Young Dutch midfielder Fern Schnoil has been a welcome addition on loan from Feyenoord. Zurawski in the middle of that huddle on hot scoring form. 4 at East End Park last time out, 10 in 2006. And there's Fern Schnoil with a strapping on his left hand. He's broken a couple of fingers, but it's not holding him back, and he did play for the Dutch Olympic team during the week. Promising young player, and Aberdeen would like to turn his temporary transfer into a permanent one. These Celtic fans, well aware of the facts and figures in the SPL, they know that their team can go 16 points clear if they beat Aberdeen here. Mike McCarry is the referee for Celtic against Aberdeen. Celtic should be refreshed. Not involved in Scottish Cup business last weekend. They'd like to have been, and the time without a game has allowed Maciej Zurawski to recover from a hamstring problem. He's fouled here by Diamond. Didn't play for Poland during the international week, and looking to add to his 15-goal tally already this season. Severin and Zurawski jousting. In came Maloney's free kick. That was Roy Keane. And Neil Lennon looking to exert a stranglehold in central midfield. Unloaded by Danny Griffin. Tension on the touchline. You've got to be kidding. It's all very relaxed down there between Messrs Calderwood and Clark and Strachan. Telfer holding off the threat of Mark Wilson. Many thought Wilson would take over the right back berth at Celtic, but it's left back that he's playing these days. Telfer declining to be shunted out of first choice at right back. Russell Anderson, key for Aberdeen in central defence. Stayed on the bench in midweek for Scotland, despite defensive disarray against the Swiss. It's a miscue from Schnoil, which hands possession to Zurawski. On from Keane, hurriedly. And not the best of clearances either from Anderson. A low-key opening to the game. Aberdeen on a good run, 7 games unbeaten in the SPL, 4 wins and 3 draws. And in that time they've beaten Rangers, Hearts and Hibs. And they are now knocking on the door of the top 6. And they would like to add to their points tally here. Jimmy Calderwood a lot happier at the moment with the form of his team, the performances and the results. But they could have it tough here against the SPL pace setters, and he'll be looking to hold things pretty tight early on. Calderwood versus Strachan. Anderson leading from the back. This for Stevie Lovell, beaten by Baldy, missed by Clark. Hartson has it. Appearing alongside him, Roy Keane bursting from the midfield. Who said he was a sitting midfielder? He is Neil Lennon, but he was a scorer at East End Park to everyone's surprise, including his own. His first goal in more than 4 years. Hartson's layoff. Petrov, Keane. Celtic looking to get themselves started with a lovely flick from John Hartson, which set up Stilian Petrov. His shot took a touch off Zander Diamond. That was crucial for Aberdeen. Otherwise, they could have been one down with little more than 3 minutes gone. The service from Telfer, the flick from Hartson, the effort from Petrov, and deflected over the top to Jamie Langfield's relief. Petrov just 1 goal away from double figures for the season. Sean Maloney's already there on 10. Zurawski 15, Hartson 17. Bags of firepower for the title pace setters. It's a miscue off Griffin's head. It's punched by Langfield. He seemed to have all the time he needed there to catch it. Chose to punch. Uncertainty in the Aberdeen defence, and they will feel they don't want that, or they will be punished. Maloney, an unused sub for Scotland in midweek, to many people's surprise. He's been in fantastic form and scored one of the goals of his life at East End Park in the 8-1 drubbing of Dunfermline. Hartson's flick. Zurawski's after it, and Langfield out of his area to hack it clear. Wilson against Nicholson. Danny Griffin. Baldy, decisive. It's Diamond, who's recovered from a head knock, incurred playing for Scotland's under-21s. Mike McCurry's whistle has gone. It's a Celtic free kick given against the challenge of Nicholson, late on Wilson. Russell Anderson is well aware he will have to be very watchful against on-form Zurawski, and John Hartson likes a goal or two as well. Just a knock in the small of the back for the Celtic captain. He'll battle on, I think. Cutting in is Sean Maloney. The reverse pass and offside. Zurawski, it won't count. It's in the net. But the flag was up very sharply. The Aberdeen defence pushed out as Zurawski made his move. And the flag says offside. Zurawski denied a 16th goal of the season. Manus at full stretch. Wilson, who's settled very quickly as a Celtic player. Griffin, time to pick out Lovell. He peeled away from Bobo Baldi. There was a good reason for that, he was offside. He could do with a pair of shades, couldn't he? Squinting into the sun, maybe a bit of factor 25 as well, to protect the pate. Touch. He was blocked by Griffin, legally, thought Mike McCurry. Neil McFarlane passing the ball through midfield, given away uncharacteristically by Severin. An Aberdeen side packed with midfield players, but will they be able to flood enough players forward to be a threat to Celtic? At the moment, the only threat is heading towards Jamie Langfield. Baldi. Diamond misjudging his header. Lennon wins it for Hartson. And Petrov threads the pass through and gets it back from Zurawski. And again for Maciej Zurawski. He was almost in. He might be now after Griffin's mistake, but it won't count. There was an arm used by the Polish striker as he weaved his way through there. And again, Aberdeen will breathe a sigh of relief, because this was more down to good luck for them than any great judgment. It was uncertain defending again, and Zurawski was almost in, and Jimmy Calderwood is well warned. Jamie Langfield deposed Ryan Essen before Essen was injured, and it's 18-year-old Greg Kelly who's on the bench for Aberdeen today as replacement goalie if required, but Langfield looking to make the jersey his own. Wilson's throw aimed at Hartson. Bursting through Petrov. Schnoil matched the run. Roy Keane. Clever pass over the head of Lovell for Telford. He's given it away. It's intercepted by McNaughton. But there's little cohesive about Aberdeen so far. When they have the ball, they don't seem to be able to keep it for any great length of time. They want to find some fluency in this first half. Paul Telford's only Celtic goal came against Aberdeen in December. Good hold-up work from Zurawski. Petrov making himself available, not picked up. Through goes Zurawski against Diamond. Good save, Jamie Langfield. He's threatened right from kick-off, Zurawski, to add to his already impressive scoring total. He found a hole in the middle of the Aberdeen defence there, and good reactions and a strong left hand from Langfield keeps the scoreline blank. Wilson to Maloney, and back. Former Dundee United defender, Wilson. Diamond doing the defending. Lovell's after it. Zurawski unable to keep possession, back from Schnoil to McNaughton. Interesting to look at the Aberdeen lineup, and it's Scott Severin who's playing up front alongside Stevie Lovell, with Clark and McFarlane in central midfield and Schnoil and Nicholson on either side of them. Sean Maloney, clever pass. Again, Langfield called into action. It was Roy Keane bursting into the penalty area, linking up with Maloney's pass. It was more of a cross than a shot, I think, from Keane, but it was palmed away pretty effectively by Jamie Langfield, who's had a busy opening 10 minutes or so. Clever timing on the run and the pass, and Langfield in the right place at the right time. Griffin fires it for Lovell. Running between Baldy and Telfer, the Aberdeen striker, or trying to at least. Baldy effective in defence. Petrov's flick, then Zurawski. Nobody running in behind him to benefit from that. Untidy from Aberdeen. They went Schnoil. Chested down by Zurawski, intercepted by McNaughton. It looked as if he was leaving Aberdeen a few weeks back, but the transfer possibility fell through. And that's a high boot against McNaughton from Stilian Petrov. Free kick, no complaints, no doubts about it. Schnoil's pass finds its way through for Scott Severin. No free kick. Clark tried to keep it. Aberdeen were always under pressure. Celtic pressing the ball, and their pressure gets them the ball back. Wilson leaves it to Keane. Crossfield from Maloney to Telfer. In went McNaughton. Or is that an arm? It certainly looked like it. The throw-in has been taken. And it's cleared by skipper Anderson. Celtic very much in charge of this game with 13 minutes gone. And only surprise as far as they haven't opened the scoring. Anderson's header, collected by Lennon. Back from Telfer to Baldy. Steve McManus, Baldy's central defensive partner.
sunshine. Sean Maloney gets it back from Mike McCurry. Not one off the training ground. Flicked on by Petrov. And Anderson brings it all the way back to Langfield. Not a bad first touch from Mike McCurry. Off his rear quarters, I think you would term that one. Not for the first time in the match. That's loose play from Aberdeen. And possession gone again. And in turn, poor communication from a Celtic point of view. Celtic beat Aberdeen 2-0 back in September here, and won 3-1 at Pittodrie in December. Looking to make it 3 out of 3, looking to extend their advantage at the top of the SPL, with Hearts playing at Livingston tomorrow. Neil McFarlane makes himself available to Kevin McNaughton. Celtic putting a lot of pressure on the ball. It's working. Jimmy Calderwood, well, I've seen him looking happier. It's not been the most convincing start from Aberdeen, despite their recent run of form, which has been very encouraging. Diamond back to Langfield. Usually good with the ball at his feet, Jamie Langfield, as he proved there. Manis with the header. Wilson had to be quick. He's now up ahead of Maloney. Well, it looked as if Sean could have got that had he been decisive, but he hesitated for a moment and that let in Telfer. McManus has chipped in 6 goals for Celtic this season, in addition to some impressive defending. It's Anderson heaving it out of play. They've been doing plenty of defending, Aberdeen, in the opening stages. They haven't been doing very much attacking. But Sandy Clark has a smile on his face. Chris Clark. It's beyond Severin. Headed downfield by Balde. Back it comes from Diamond. Same again. Petrov trying to shake off McNaughton. In went Clark as well. 2 against 1. Came out on top. Lovell makes the run and gives Balde the shoulder and concedes a free kick. Stevie Lovell hasn't really had the sort of success at Aberdeen that most people were predicting when he moved from Dundee. Just the 4 goals so far. Griffin launches it, but it's straight at McManus. That's Clark to Severin. Scott Severin strong on the ball, but he got the better of Keane, but he was caught by Lennon. From Clark carefully to Anderson. And that's a nothing ball from the back from Aberdeen, which asks no questions at all of the SPL leaders. Griffin against Maloney. Change of pace from Sean Maloney. Takes him away from his marker. And that's a clever pass. Paul Telfer. Shut down by Scott Severin. Lennon rolls it for Petrov. The flick finds its way to Keane. Telfer into the feet of Hartson. Keane's cross. Petrov has a glimmer of a chance, and it's another top save by Langfield. A hat-trick of stops already from the Aberdeen keeper. Anderson miscues, fires it behind. A sign of the pressure Aberdeen are under, but they've held out so far, and a lot of the gratitude is heading Jamie Langfield's way. Saved with his legs. It doesn't matter how you stop them as long as you do. The stress and the strain is written all over the face of Anderson and Neil McFarlane. Celtic look to keep on the heat, but not with a delivery like that, which allowed Jamie Langfield to position himself under it and make a fairly comfortable catch. He will have to keep up that form, Jamie Langfield. He knows that. Celtic will be having more and more efforts on goal. That's their plan, until they can find a breakthrough. Aberdeen have yet to get anywhere near Boruc. They have now. Scott Severn must have heard me. Firing it in from 25 yards out. It does go down as a shot on target, although that was never going to find a way past the Polish international goalkeeper. Severn up alongside Lovell. An attack for Aberdeen. Reshuffled side. McFarlane in central midfield. Celtic with all the superiority here, all the possession. They are creating chances. All that's missing so far is putting one in the back of the net behind Langfield. Through goes Lovell, but it's solid defending from Balde, and a slip from Mark Wilson. Down goes Stevie Lovell, but there's an offside flag up. 20 minutes in, and suddenly a surprise slip in the Celtic defence. It was Wilson who literally slipped. In went Barry Nicholson, down went Stevie Lovell, looking for a penalty, but the decision instead was offside. Norton did well against firstly Petrov, then Lennon. Gets it back from Schnoil. But who's covering back to pick up the pieces? It's the Celtic captain. He does it so well, Neil Lennon. Hartson making himself the target. Keeping the ball away from Anderson. Keane's flick to Lennon. Celtic in command. Wilson for Maloney. Here's a great opportunity for Celtic. It came off Xander Diamond. Was it a hand? Should it have been a penalty? Mike McCarry says no. The Celtic fans are not convinced, and that's why it was a clear handball by Diamond. It should have been a penalty, and Celtic would have had the chance to open the scoring. Missed by the officials, and you don't really get too many clearer penalty awards than that. Schnoil threads it through for Severn, stopped by Balde. Lovell receiving it, lays it off to Severn, keeps possession against Petrov and Keane. And the pass finds Barry Nicholson, tight to the touchline, turning back inside Wilson. And Wilson did enough, got away to Maloney, in with Danny Griffin. Lennon under pressure. Good play from Aberdeen, squared to Schnoil, and that's a great block by Petrov. It's the most threatening we've seen Aberdeen so far. But that was beautifully timed from Petrov to deny Schnoil the shot at goal. A feeling of injustice among the Celtic fans here for that very good reason. Handball by Diamond, unseen, unpunished. Aberdeen escaped, and how close was Mike McCurry to that? He was staring straight at it, it seemed. Schnoil on loan from Feyenoord, unable to get a first team game there. He's certainly fitted in well and quickly at Aberdeen. And they'd like to have him permanently on the staff. Here he is again, Schnoil. Just a bit over elaborate there. And possession back with Celtic. Just a touch of inexperience there. Stevie Crawford is on the bench for Aberdeen. He's an attacking option for them as this match goes on, back after injury. He'll be feeling a lucky boy at the moment, Sander Diamond, having handled, and gets the benefit of any doubt there as well. It's Aberdeen's free kick. Back in the way, but cool from Telfer. Balde, Lennon, and now Wilson. Zurawski, clever movement. Lennon takes it from him. Back from Mark Wilson to Sean Maloney. Keane and Lennon in harness in central midfield. Couldn't keep it, intercepted by McNaughton, and Schnoil holding his arms wide because he's saying, where are my options, where are the possibilities? And in the end he launches it long for Lovell, too long, beyond the main striker, and any possible threat to the Celtic defence is gone. What's encouraging for Aberdeen at the moment is the scoreline, goalless after 25 minutes, despite pressure, possession and chances. And that wasn't a bad idea from Scott Severn. The angled ball through. Steve Lovell couldn't quite make it. Maloney. Another pacey break. That was for Zurawski. Stretching out was Diamond. Good defending. Just got there, just stopped it getting through. All things are going at the moment for Zurawski. When he gets in, you do expect him to score. He's finishing East End Park, and the 8-1 victory was clinical. 5 chances, 4 goals. Good play from Anderson. Came off the head of Mark Wilson. Stevie Lovell's onto it. Into Neil McFarlane. Poor pass. It's a basic. Couldn't find Barry Nicholson. Telfer for Hartson. Kept it in well. Now Petrov. Zurawski. It's a slick machine. Celtic moving the ball around the pitch very nicely. Sean Maloney looks to like the touch paper. Kept out by the combination of Griffin and Nicholson, and then Aberdeen hand the ball straight back to Mark Wilson. Zurawski was up for the header, and a good effort by Keane. Again he pops up in the penalty box. Again he's an attacking threat to Aberdeen, and again it's good solid goalkeeping from Jamie Langfield. It went through a ruck of players. It wasn't the easiest, well held. Again, the passing from Aberdeen at times is pretty appalling. Again, movement from Zurawski. He's got himself in behind Diamond. Looking for the merest glimmer of a chance. John Hartson was onside. Aberdeen can't believe the flag stayed down. But stay down it did, and had that gone in from John Hartson, it would have counted. And it goes down as a glaring miss for Celtic's top scorer. You really do expect him to tap those away. becoming more and more remarkable here that the scoreline has stayed blank. Celtic have had numerous chances. They should have had a penalty, but 0-0. Aberdeen working hard, but they can play a lot better than this. Their passing has been poor, their possession play disappointing. But so far they've kept Celtic out. Griffin. Back from Lovell to Nicholson. Barry Nicholson was caught late by Roy Keane. Keane immediately holding up the hand of apology, but that doesn't make Barry Nicholson at the moment feel any better. He got a stamp on the top of the thigh. Zurawski had what looked like an effort on goal. It ended up as a pass to John Hartson, and really should have scored, and he knows it. Alan Thompson is a spectator. Would only have been on the bench had he been fit, but he's picked up a back injury in training, and well, the clever money is on Thompson moving on from Celtic sooner or later, following in the footsteps of Chris Sutton, who left for Birmingham. And the news from an Aberdeen point of view is grim. The stretcher is coming on for Nicholson, and Jimmy Calderwood could do without that. And you sensed immediately when Nicholson went down in a crumpled heap that he had a problem. Nothing malicious about Keane's challenge against the Aberdeen midfielder. Trying to get the ball, but he certainly made contact with Nicholson, and it's game over for Barry Nicholson. And the Aberdeen fans and management and players will hope that Nicholson's injury after Keane's challenge is not going to keep him out of the side for too long. He's found a better vein of form, Nicholson, recently, as have the team. But with half an hour or so gone, Aberdeen have to make a change. And that's a nice touch from Roy Keane. A word of apology and get well soon. Ricky Foster will replace Barry Nicholson, and that will be pretty much, I would imagine, a straight swap. He will play on the right side of the midfield four. Griffin looking for Anderson, it came off Baldy. Scott Severin, shot on target, but didn't really catch it. It didn't trouble Borrett. Free kick given against the challenge on Wilson. Lennon to Maloney, running at Chris Clark, turning away from Neil McFarlane, and caught in two minds maybe there, Maloney, as to whether to try a shot at goal or chip it towards the far post. It ended up neither. Full of ideas always, Sean Maloney, and he's having a great season. Not just his 10 goals so far, but there's plenty to go with it. Lots of assists, very creative, very dangerous, cutting in from that left side. Clark Griffin's given it away. Zurawski free alongside him, and might well have utilised the support he had there. Decided to go it alone. Stilian Petrov not too impressed. There was a big chance here, a bloomer from Griffin, and he will be mighty relieved that Zurawski chose to shoot, and it was nearer the corner flag than it was the goalposts. Aberdeen will feel a little fortunate, with a sense of understatement, at half-time if they can keep the scoreline as it is. Celtic have thrown away quite a few opportunities now to score. And Mike McCurry denied them what looked like a surefire penalty. Malice clears. Maloney. Good work from McFarlane, doing the fetching and carrying in central midfield. But again, Aberdeen, under no great pressure, conceding possession. Petrov, Zurawski, maybe on speaking terms again. Back with the ball. Telfer to Lennon. Schnoil in front of Hartson, and that's same again as far as this first half performance from Aberdeen goes. Another pass fails to find its target. Celtic had a strong enough side without giving the ball to them, as Aberdeen have done. Ten minutes away from half-time. Balde's distribution poor. Schnoil has picked up a sore one. Aberdeen certainly don't want to have to make another change. Running into Bovo Balde is not recommended for health reasons. Chris Clark is now at right back in the reshuffled Aberdeen team, with Danny Griffin having stepped forward. Here is Griffin, McFarlane alongside. Where are the options for him? Not abundant. And no way through for Ricky Foster. He's trying his best. Keane adept at keeping him out. Hartson and Lennon exchange passes. Hey, Lennon's on the move here. Gets it from Petrov. Surely not fancying himself another goal, is he? That's good work from Diamond. Got back well to deny Petrov the chance to run in on goal. After Neil Lennon had popped up as an auxiliary left winger. This could be more trouble for Aberdeen. They've already lost Nicholson on a stretcher, and the young Dutchman is requiring of some treatment, having taken a knock on the shin, I think, in that collision with Balde a couple of minutes ago. He looked to run off the problem. Hasn't happened so far, and plenty to ponder for the Aberdeen manager at the moment, with his team hardly firing on all cylinders, and personnel problems. Here's what happened for Schnoil. His momentum carried him through into that collision with Balde. He's been hobbling around for the last couple of minutes after running into the Celtic centre-back, and Schnoil's game is over, so it's going to be a second switch for Aberdeen in this first half. Darren Mackie is the player to come on, getting some instructions from Jimmy Nicholl. That's a disappointment for Aberdeen, because Schnoil has been in very good form for them.
He replaces number 15, Snow.
Darren Mackie, who was an impressive frontman for Aberdeen last season. It hasn't happened for him this time around, but there is a chance for him here to show what he can do. And he has pace, the sort of pace that troubles any defence. If Aberdeen can get him some supply. Seven and a half minutes left of regulation time in the first half. There will be some stoppage time for Aberdeen's injuries. Foster has now switched over to the left-hand side for Aberdeen, with Mackie on the right. McNaughton fires it down the touchline. Not in hope that any expectation that Severin would get there. Griffin kept that in just. It's rolled back to him by Severin. The ball looks like a hot potato at times for the Aberdeen players, and the distribution just hasn't been good enough. Celtic very much on top of the match. Their concern will be that they haven't cashed in on their pressure and possession and chances. There's plenty of time. In the 40th minute at Celtic Park, goalless between Celtic and Aberdeen. Came off the head of McNaughton, gets it back from McFarlane, now with Foster. Not holding back, McNaughton or Petrov. Slightly troubled Gordon Strachan at the moment, very troubled Jimmy Calderwood. He's lost two of his starting lineup already. To Baldy, he's itching to get forward, isn't he? Maloney with Wilson looping around the outside. Did it very effectively. East End Park created the opening goal with one of those runs. Maloney strong, trying shaking him off the ball. Petrov through for Roy Keane, great chance. His solitary Celtic goal so far came in the 2-1 win here against Falkirk. It was deflected in that time. That was a cleaner strike. It was a good hit from Keane, but just fractionally wide, swerving off the outside of his right boot. And not working Langfield this time. Diamond had to be watchful. Chris Clark, very adaptable, can play just about every outfield position for Aberdeen, just about has done, I think. Great running from midfield from Petrov. McNaughton trying to stay with them, but others have attempted that and failed. Keane and Lennon, so solid at the centre of the midfield. Aberdeen chasing shadows at times, but they're looking to keep that 0 against Celtic's name on the scoreboard. Free kick against the over-eager McNaughton, who had a swipe at Petrov. Nothing personal. It's all very quiet around Celtic Park, the home support waiting for a goal. And they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Well, that was unnecessary from Roy Keane. Having a laugh, maybe. Not sure that Jamie Langfield saw the funny side of it, though. You can't do that. All smiles at Celtic Park, but some frustration too for the home team. Unable to find a breakthrough so far. That's the big surprise of this first half. Aberdeen under almost constant pressure. Anderson, as usual, standing firm for them. Knocked down by Mackie for Severin. Scott Severin does well, working his way into a threatening position. Better from Aberdeen, cleared by Baldy, and it spins behind for a corner. Aberdeen will look to put more pressure on Baldy as this match goes on. It was good play from Severin, weaving his way into a good area, and the spin on the ball took it behind. Anderson and Diamond both up for this. Farland and Severin, Mackie and Lovell. There's Darren Mackie, second chance for him. Griffin looks to play in A flighted ball to the back post for Xander Diamond, and that was a chance for the Aberdeen defender. Immediately his hands were on the head. He damaged playing for Scotland's under-21s during the week because he won the header. He found a little gap at the back post, and he's disappointed, Diamond, that he couldn't have powered that on target. Maybe slipped off the Vaseline that slapped on his head after that knock he suffered in midweek. Jimmy Calder was a bit happier. He needs cheered up, having lost 2 of his players in the first half. And the Jimmy Nicholl joke book doesn't always work. Using the ball well again, Maloney. Spinning away from his marker, Zurawski. Back from Petrov to Baldi. Mark Wilson has seen plenty of the ball in the first half. That goes for just about all the Celtic players. It's at the final third where they're looking for things to happen, and so far that hasn't happened. Baldi tries to put things right in his own special way. Keen to Zurawski. Aberdeen putting a lot of bodies behind the ball, making life difficult for Celtic. McManus to Wilson, 45 minutes gone, 2 to be added. Those injuries to Nicholson and Schnoil. Griffin's clearance, back it comes from Baldi, over the head of Mackie. Recovering in behind him is Chris Clark. Started off in midfield, Clark, now at right back. And he was content there just to heave it down into Celtic territory and hope that that half-time whistle will sound quite soon. He's got 90 seconds to wait. Hearts on the target. Cleared by Diamond, caught by Zurawski. I think he's okay. Jimmy Calderwood will hope he's okay. He doesn't want to use all 3 subs in the first half. 2 of them on already. Zurawski's challenge was a little late on the Aberdeen central defender. Ouch. Jimmy Langfield in no particular hurry to take this. In a very busy first 25 minutes, Langfield. Clark moving away from Maloney. There wouldn't be a twist in the tail towards the end of the first half, would there? Maybe not. Keane intercepts, now Lennon. 30 seconds of the first half left. Zurawski. Can't quite make it, Langfield does. Judged it well. That's half-time at Celtic Park. And there is a face of relief, I would imagine. Xander Diamond happy that Mike McCarry chose not to award what looked like a clear-cut penalty. Jamie Langfield wasn't called into action then, but he certainly could have been if had they been awarded a penalty. Celtic. John Hartson missed a great chance to open the scoring. But a lot of the half-time debate will be about this little moment in the first half. Played in by Maloney off the left hand of Xander Diamond. No penalty, no goals, 0-0. Celtic 0, Aberdeen 0.
This is NASN, the only TV channel in the UK and Ireland dedicated to the best in North American sport. NASN shows up to 15 live events a week, including news, highlight shows, and classic games. NASN is Major League Baseball, American football, basketball, ice hockey, college sports, and motorsport. NASN, the North American Sports Network, is now part of the Setanta Sports Pack. It's another great channel available at no extra cost. For further information, log on to setanta.com, nasn.com, or tune into channel 417 now.
It's competition time now on Celtic TV, and your chance to nominate your man of the match from the game against Aberdeen at the weekend. It could prove to be a tough decision this week, as it was an excellent performance all round, with the pick of the bunch being Stan Petrov's outstanding opening goal. This week we are giving away these stylish Celtic training tops as worn by the first team, the reserves and the under-19s. If your name comes out the hat, you will receive one adult and one child's top. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning, then call 0901 633 1888 from the UK or 1513 712 522 if you live in the Republic of Ireland. If you prefer to use your mobile phone, text Celtic TV, leave a space, add the player's name of your choice, and don't forget to add your own name to 85010 if you live in the UK. There is no age limit for this week's competition, lines close midnight on Friday, and then we will announce the lucky winner to the Daily Huddle viewers next week.
Johnson, Cloven towering above him. Now you see why Celtic decided to play this little boy today.
Johnston.
Football in March on Setanta Sports. We're at Easter Road as Tony Mowbray's Hibs try to halt Celtic's championship charge. Then it's Hearts against Rangers. Livingston hosts Celtic. And we're back with the champions-elect at Rugby Park. On the continent, we'll follow Bayern Munich as Felix Magath drives them towards the Bundesliga title. Gus Hiddink's PSV as they close in on the Dutch Championship. Gerard Houlliers Lyon seemingly unstoppable in France. And Fabio Capello's Juventus taking Serie A by storm. That's Football in March on Setanta Sports.
Probably no one around here is more surprised than the Aberdeen players themselves that it's 0-0 at Celtic Park. It's a big boost, and Aberdeen will now look to start to play. They weren't really too impressive in the first half, but one way or another, they held out despite the disruption of losing two injured players. So just one sub-option left now for Jimmy Calderwood. Stevie Crawford's on the bench, so he may well feature before we're finished. John Hartson looking to get Celtic started. Lennon, it's Petrov. Keane played it hurriedly. And Diamond cleared not very far. Now with Stevie Lovell. And the Aberdeen passing in the second half, looking as if it might be as unimpressive as it was in the first. Looks like Gordon Strachan was trying to calm down Jimmy Calderwood there for a minute. Calm down. McManus for Żurawski. Diamond won the header. Darren Mackie, the first half switch. Played from Clark to Lovell. Good layoff. Mackie trying to play an early ball into the box. Wilson got this one square on the chops. Behind for a corner. It's a man's game, this. In from Danny Griffin, and a chance for Russell Anderson. Diamond had a first half header opportunity. This time it's the skipper Anderson who got first to the corner kick but couldn't hit the target. A gentle reminder there to Celtic that there's no cause for complacency, despite the control they had over the game in the first half. there as quickly as he could, Darren Mackie. I think that's his response, but he was late, no doubt about it. And Wilson, who's still rubbing his face after being battered with the ball, now he's been kicked. Aberdeen looks as if they've got something against him. Telfer. Played it between Keane and Hartson, but it bounced harmlessly through to Langfield. Good touch from Clark. Griffin knocks it into the corner. Turned out of play by Wilson. Danny Griffin's the long throw man. Clark, McFarlane, Mackie. Keane in the way. Aberdeen passing movement breaks down. The up and under from Wilson. Swarovski against Anderson, and it breaks for Diamond. McNaughton to Foster. He's quick, as Paul Telfer's just found out. It's a good run, but no end product. Frustrating for Foster, frustrating for Aberdeen. He did all the hard work, great pace, and then this. Could have done some damage there to Celtic on the byline, Ricky Foster, and he managed to screw that back rather than miscue it behind. John Hartson unmarked, flicks it on to Zurawski. He flicks it again, nobody there for Celtic. Hartson, well left by Mike McCurry. Sean Maloney was a threat in the first half, looking to link with Wilson. Mackie was quick enough to match him. Played away by Clark. Up from Lovell, held off Baldy. Played quickly, too quickly I think by Severin. Time for Telfer to intercept. Norton tries to get there again. Tenacious play from the Aberdeen left back, and he's got it. It's good play from McNaughton, who's determined that that was going to be his. McFarlane to Clark. Griffin played that without looking. Severin chasing. McManus lets it run. Wants a corner, Scott Severin, but I don't think he's going to get one. He reckoned that there was contact made by McManus, and there was. It should have been a corner. Not for the first time, the officials have got it wrong. Langfield straight down the throat of Baldy. Powerful header, and John Hartson could be in. Langfield's off his line, and good work from Clark. John Hartson let it run, which allowed Clark to clear. Not for the first time in this match, Celtic getting right into the danger area, but failing to apply the killer punch. Just about 7 minutes into the second half, and the pattern pretty much the same. Aberdeen untidy, poor passing, not really keeping the ball for any length of time. There's a perfect example. And Celtic, so far, not taking their chances. Baldy allowed time on the ball. Picks out Zurawski. Petrov alongside. McNaughton tries to get to him. Roy Keane, all the experience he brings to the party. The former Manchester United captain finds John Hartson. That's through for Maciej Zurawski. Back goes Chris Clark. Has to be careful. And it's hooked in beyond Petrov by the pole. Hartson collects. Good work from him. Terrific play. Eventually turned out by McNaughton. Żurawski timing the run perfectly, keeping himself onside, holding off Clark, but he'd too much on the cross. Danger gone for Aberdeen at that point, but it's not over yet. Telfer's throw, McManus there, flicked on, only as far as Roy Keane, whose effort is off target. He was off balance, Keane, as he struck that, after McManus made a menace of himself inside the area, flicked away by Lovell, and Keane shot well away from Langfield. The Aberdeen Director of Football, Willie Miller, alongside the Aberdeen Chairman, Stuart Mill. I'm sure Miller will be a little bit concerned about the pattern of play, although he will be pleased about the current scoreline. And Scott Severn in possession, and had he got that pass better, Stevie Lovell might have been away from Bobo Baldi. He'd taken up a very good position, Lovell, but there was far too much on the pass. He was never going to catch it from Severn. Wilson to Hartson, back from McManus, looking for Żurawski this time, covering in behind Anderson is Clark. A pacey little pass back for Langfield to deal with. Here's Lovell, does well, and here's Baldi looking to get it down, and it's off the central defender and out. Aberdeen's throw. Celtic with a chance here today to increase their advantage at the top of the SPL. 13 clear of Hearts at the moment. With the Tynecastle team not playing till tomorrow, it could be 16 if they can win. That was some challenge by Baldi on Lovell. He reckons it was strong but fair. McCurry and Stevie Lovell saw it otherwise. He won the ball. He also clattered into the Aberdeen striker in the process. Was it a free kick? Well, debatable. Griffin, Severn and Clark in consultation over the set piece. Anderson and Diamond up alongside Lovell. What can Aberdeen make of the set piece squared by Griffin? It didn't look there as if Ricky Foster was part of that plan. Clark plays it forward, in goes Griffin, it almost broke free for Lovell. Celtic seemed to switch off there for a moment at the set piece, and Aberdeen very nearly carved out a scoring opportunity. Good play from Griffin, sliced behind by Baldi. Danny Griffin's corner played in with a lot of pace, headed away by Petrov. Back out to the taker. Chance for Telfer to clear. Żurawski nudged aside by Foster, free kick. Looking to spark a quick Celtic counter-attack, Żurawski. It's a booking for the Aberdeen substitute, Foster. Telfer with the free kick. McManus has gone forward. Hearts on the target though. There's Diamond and Severn. Back with Paul Telfer. Did he use a hand? No, thought the referee. Keane plays it up to the edge of the box. Hartson's flick. Chris Clark did well. Sean Maloney had nipped in behind him. Mackie down the line for Severn. Good pass, good run. What can Scott Severn do? Turns inside McManus, and a decent effort on goal. It wasn't the most testing save Arthur Bollocks will ever have to make, but it was an encouraging break from Aberdeen. Good link up between Mackie and Severn, and at least another shot on target. Doing the defending, now McNaughton. Mackie adds pace to this Aberdeen side, but maybe not passing on the evidence of that, but it did find its way through to level. Now Severn, wide for McNaughton, looking to link again with Severn, deflected away from its intended target. Aberdeen just showing signs of getting into this game, and the Celtic support not too happy at the moment. Yellow for Balde. He's mystified at the booking, but he was late on Severn, no doubt about that, and it's not his first foul. No bookkeeping for the referee. The call, I think, has gone out for Shinsuke Nakamura from Gordon Strachan, looking to make a change, looking for the sort of passes that can unlock the Aberdeen defence. Griffin's free kick, up went Severn. Balde clears, only as far as Scott Severn, lofted back in. There's Neil McFarlane, missed by Petrov and knocked in by Stevie Lovell, but the whistle had already gone and it won't count. McFarlane looped that header forward and Lovell was offside before he flicked it beyond Boritz. Came off the head of Anderson. Clark's clearance, totally convincing. Keen to Petrov, time to turn and to link up with Telfer. Early ball in from Paul Telfer, but that's Jimmy Landfield's all the way. Celtic need better delivery than that from the wide areas if they're going to test the keeper. Severn, the target, came off the head of McManus. Flying into the challenge went Wilson to win it. Knocked down by Maloney. McFarlane has it. Released by Hearts. Signed by Aberdeen. Griffin. Way beyond Lovell. Left by Telfer. An indecision there between right back and goalkeeper until Boritz grabbed it. Petrov back in field for Lennon. John Hartson standing alongside him. Width supplied by Maloney. It was aimed at Zurawski, but never looked likely to find the target. Signs of frustration showing on and off the pitch for Celtic. But a goal would change that. Petrov and Hartson. And a poor pass. Kevin McNaughton had bags of time there. But he ends up putting it in the stand and handing possession back to Celtic. Zurawski to Lennon. Celtic looking for cutting edge. Maloney kept out by Mackie. Lovell has it. Back with McNaughton. To Foster, good play by Ricky Foster, nice touch away from Balde, he's quick. Celtic won't catch Foster and he looked to square it, and in the end it came back to him, and his second attempt is saved by Boritz. What an opportunity for Ricky Foster, and why did he not have a crack at goal first time here? He instead elected to pick out Severn. Roy Keane was in the way. It came back to the Aberdeen substitute, and his follow-up effort saved by the keeper. What a chance. Maloney fouled by Xander Diamond right outside the area. And I think Sean Maloney is licking his lips at the prospect of the upcoming set piece. He won it himself with that jinking run, and Diamond timed it badly, clattered into the Celtic midfielder.
Substitution from
Celtic will make the change at this point, with John Hartson coming off.
Coming on 25, Shinsuke Nakamura.
And Celtic turning Japanese at this point with Shinsuke Nakamura on the pitch as substitute. And he, of course, is an option at this set piece as well. And that's the reason that the substitution was hurried by Celtic. But you would imagine on this side of the pitch, it's perfectly set up for Maloney himself to have a crack at goal. And he might struggle to nudge him out of the way. Can Celtic hit the front? Maloney's efforts comfortably saved in the end by Langfield. Read it pretty well and got himself quickly across the line to make a solid save. Maloney's pass finds its way through. Nakamura's first touch, and it's the wrong side of the net for Nakamura. And the Celtic supporters, just for a moment, when they saw the rustling of the rigging, they thought it was 1-0. But Jimmy Langfield got an important touch to turn it round the post. In from Nakamura, swerving wickedly. Langfield did well enough, and Aberdeen now looking to counter with Neil McFarlane. And Chris Clark. Severin's layoff is a good one to Mackie. Played that straight at Wilson. Well won by McFarlane. Doing a good job in central midfield. Has it again. The link man. Clark to Diamond. To play it first time. It's beyond Severin. And cleared by McManus. It's Anderson. And with bags of time. Telfer through for Petrov. Zurawski making a good run, well picked out by Keane. Diamond tries to delay him. It's back for Petrov! What a finish! It's something Celtic have failed to do in the first 65 minutes, and they've now done it with some style. It's a cracker of a goal for Stilian Petrov's 10th goal of the season. Although Aberdeen will be asking all sorts of questions, they had time to organise here, but they switched off, and you don't do that when Petrov's around. He reacted to the cutback from Zurawski, and the finish, well, that was emphatic. It's 1-0 Celtic, as the leaders look to strengthen their hold at the top of the league. You can almost see the black clouds above Jimmy Calderwood's head at the moment, as Petrov makes all the difference on an afternoon of frustration so far for Celtic. That puts smiles on faces around the ground among the home support, with the deadlock finally broken. The shake of the head says all. Aberdeen could play a cagey game at 0-0, but they now have to go for it to try to salvage something from the match. Free kick going against Darren Mackie for a push on Sean Maloney. Maloney was protecting the ball, looking to let it run. That's debatable. Was the foul against Mackie initially, as Maloney held him up? The decision went the other way. Celtic breathing a little easier after Petrov's goal. 10 for the season. 4 Celtic players now in double figures in the scoring charts, with both Maloney and Petrov on 10. Zurawski 15, Hartson 17. And Petrov now strutting his stuff. Wilson squares it to Nakamura.
He's off and running. Lennon loses out to McFarlane, no free kick. They kept it goalless for 65 minutes, Aberdeen, against all odds. But they now have to change their game. They now have to come up with more attacking threat. McFarlane with time to turn. What's happening up ahead of him? Not a lot at the moment. It's a dangerous pass. Just can't meet it his. He did well. Now he's lost it. McFarlane's the man to win it back. Baldy did enough against Lovell. Telfer through for Żurawski. Anderson heads it away from him and chases the second ball himself. It was a difficult pass for Lovell to receive from McFarlane. It didn't stick. Back from Wilson to Boruc. Nakamura. Not should have touch for once. He certainly should have touched. It was a magnificent finish from him, and look at the skill here. Look how that ball is killed instantly, dropping out of the air. 3 Aberdeen players around him. It didn't seem to matter. Petrov receives it from Maloney. Through for Żurawski. Chance for number 2. Good goalkeeping from Jamie Langfield, but Żurawski was offside anyway. But Langfield didn't know that as he flung himself at the feet of the Polish international striker. Foster, McFarlane, Mackie. Good support from Neil McFarlane. Got the break of the ball off Neil Lennon, but couldn't keep it. Leaves it to Baldy. Play it forward for Petrov. Well read by McNaughton, got there before Nakamura. Well-timed header from Telfer. Lovell to Severin. Foster. Robbed of possession by Keane. Petrov, another deft touch, but it goes astray this time. Severin, Clark, Mackie. Scott Severin through for Stevie Lovell. Couldn't quite make it, the Aberdeen striker. Kick-off. And now they're that all-important goal. Was eluding them for so long. Aberdeen are going to turn to Stevie Crawford for too much longer, the Scotland striker. Jimmy Calderwood will look to go for it in the closing stages to try to get something from the game. They're in a losing position at the moment. Held up. And Diamond. Clark plays it first time for Severin. Mackie. He's done well since coming on, Darren Mackie. He's given Aberdeen an extra dimension. Receives it from McNaughton. Dangerous pass. And Sean Maloney has it. Nakamura. Keenan Lennon will look to keep things tight in the midfield area. Celtic don't want to lose their lead. Diamond's header to Clark. Markey seeing a lot of the ball. Played up for Lovell. Was there an arm used there? Cleared by Baldy. Kept in by Markey. Not quite. It was an awkward one to receive. Did that run along the arm of Lovell? It looked a bit like it. Free kick wasn't given.
Substitution for Aberdeen, office 31, Danny Griffin. On 23,
Danny Griffin is off for Aberdeen into the dugout. And Stevie Crawford is on. Crawford up front alongside Lovell. Severn drops back into midfield. But Aberdeen really now need to commit players forward. They have to gamble and run the risk of losing another goal at the other end after Petrov broke the deadlock. And he was fouled there by Anderson. Petrov playing further forward since the withdrawal of John Hartson. Nakamura leading the McNaughton merry dance. Telfer through for Keane. Great run from Roy Keane into the danger area. Clark played it off Diamond. And Sean Maloney scores, and it's all over now for Aberdeen. Great work from Roy Keane, massive credit to him, but Aberdeen should have dealt with that. And the ricochet worked well for Maloney, who makes it 11 for the season for him after Keane's set-up work. Clark and Diamond made a mess of it, and it was on a plate for Maloney to stroke home Celtic's second goal in the 75th minute, and the leaders are now surely out of sight. He's smiling as he tinkers with the system, and you can understand why. Gordon Strachan knows now that's job done. Chapter of misfortune that was in the Aberdeen goalmouth, and Sean Maloney was happy to pounce. Markey to Diamond over the head of Crawford. Manus had to play it. He knows. And it's now a long way back. Chris Clark looking for the run of Lovell. Did well, Stevie Lovell, to get in front of McManus and force the throw. To hurl this one into the penalty box. Got Severn. Diamond was there. It breaks from Markey. Good challenge from Mark Wilson to block the attempt on goal. That's good work from Severn. Looking for the reverse pass to release Foster. Roy Keane was in the way. Free kick given against Anderson's challenge, I think, and Zurawski. Telfer down the line, and the willing runner is Zurawski. Norton does well. Calmly played out of defence, and Ricky Foster wins the throw off Telfer. Had a good chance early in the second half, Foster, when he raced away down the left-hand side. But he doesn't have experience on his side and took the wrong option. Here's Nakamura. Thought about the shot. then squared it to Keane. Lennon has it. Nakamura again, Petrov. It's almost like a training exercise at the moment, this, for Celtic. And just can't get to the ball. You never know, they were the best part of 60,000 inside here. It's all gone quiet. Those goals from Petrov and Maloney look to have killed the game. Very satisfactory from a Celtic point of view. And it looks like a 16-point advantage for them for 24 hours at least, at the top of the Bank of Scotland Premier League. Markey under pressure from Wilson. Diamond clears. He looks fairly relaxed. He's still bouncing about that technical area. Doesn't stand still for too long. Striker looks as if he's going to be a championship winner in his first season of Scottish football management. Celtic have slowed the game right down. And there's little that Aberdeen appear to be able to do about it. But in the 80th minute, Stilian Petrov broke the deadlock. 20 minutes into the second half, and Sean Maloney added to it. Lennon finds Petrov. Diamond plods it away from him. Good work from McNaughton. Change of direction, change of pace. Good work from Nakamura, who's added graft to his game since arriving from Italian football, which was his last port of call. Xander Diamond has taken a knock. Here's what happened. There's that stretch, and he was maybe trod on accidentally by Petrov. Stilian Petrov's 10th goal of the season, and he won't have scored too many better ones than this. What a strike. Langfield, I think, got a touch to it, and he couldn't keep it out as Aberdeen switched off a little in central defence, and that was a chapter of misfortune as the ricochet went well for Sean Maloney. Clark off Diamond, and 2-0. And he's not showing it at the moment, but he's happy. Diamond restored. Crawford's header. Fails to find Lovell. Telfer clears. Keane has it. Manus to Maloney. It has all the appearances this of a game that's over. Celtic, if they wish, can push for another goal or two. Mike McCurry gets himself out of the way. Keane to Żurawski. Diamond. He's hobbling a bit, Diamond. But Aberdeen have used all three subs, so he'll have to get through it if he can't. Way through to Petrov. Żurawski away from Anderson, but the Aberdeen captain got there in the way of the shot, and it was deflected behind. Żurawski would like to get his name on the score sheet. Russell Anderson doesn't fancy that quite so much. Balde at the near post for Nakamura's corner. There he is. Anderson won it though. Not the surest of touches from Stevie Crawford. Another avoidable error from Aberdeen. Another corner for Celtic. And from Nakamura. No takers for Celtic at the back post. And a comfortable take for Jamie Langfield. Launches it for Lovell. Telfer turned it out of play. Ricky Foster's in a hurry. 6.5 minutes left in terms of regulation time. Here's Chris Clark. Gordon Strachan still screaming at his players down on the touchline, demanding that they keep up the work rate, keep pressing the ball, don't allow Aberdeen time. You may think it's game over, but he's not entirely convinced yet. It's very casual, very lax from Baldy, which allows Stevie Crawford to take up possession. Now Foster. McNaughton. Here's Crawford. Down goes Severin. Free kick against Petrov. Looked a bit of a softie, that, but the decision went Aberdeen's way. Can they inject a little bit of hope in the closing minutes? They need a goal, and they need it now. Clark and Crawford are there, Foster and Severin. What's the plan? It's for Scott Severin. Sean Maloney saw that coming. He was out quickly to block the shot. It may have looked good on the training ground, but it didn't quite come to fruition here. Norton keeps Petrov at bay. Diamond, who was fortunate not to have a penalty given against him in the first half. But he played an unwanted part in goal number 2 for Celtic, so home fans might feel there's some natural justice in that. Good play from McFarlane. He's put in a decent shift. Nakamura. Back with McManus. Celtic playing out time. Mission accomplished. 2-0 up, and little danger, you would say, without jumping to too many conclusions, that Aberdeen will bite back. Jimmy Calderwood and Jimmy Nicholl have an air of resignation about them in terms of the outcome. He took his eye off that. They've lost only twice in 28 league games this season, Celtic. It's been a very strong run, and they certainly seem to be champions in waiting. At this stage of the season, you begin to think, when could it be clinched with such a hefty advantage over Hearts, who will try to win at Livingston tomorrow and trim, if that be the right word, the margin back to 13 points. Maloney, very aware always of what's happening around about him, picked out Wilson. Petrov squares it for Keane. Zurawski. I think Keane wanted that back quickly, and he might well be letting Zurawski know. Nakamura's cross, well judged by Jamie Langfield. He's had a good game. Can't be faulted for either of the Celtic goals, and certainly kept the leaders at bay for quite some time. Crawford. Severin. And that's poor from him, and he's played well. Again, Keane was up in support of the strike force, looking for it. Surely another goal from Neil Lennon. Can we cope with 2 in a fortnight? think you call that breakdown in communication. Roy Keane might call it something else, as he whispers in the ear of Paul Telfer on the way past. Not on the script, that one. A wry smile. It wasn't my fault, it was yours. Mackey's flick. No takers for Aberdeen. Two minutes to be added, 90 seconds left of the 90 minutes. Petrov screens the ball so well, kept Anderson away from it. Now Zurawski. Is there a goal in the game for him? I hope so. Nakamura, Lennon, now Telfer. Keane. Lovely touch from Petrov, gets it back. Is it going to be three? Is Zurawski going to get his goal? Yes, to all of the above. 3-0 Celtic in the 90th minute. The slickest and most skillful of build-up. And yet another goal for Maciej Zurawski, who's now scored 11 since the turn of the year, 16 for the season. And this was delightful between Keane and Petrov. And at this point, it was only a question of who was going to apply the finishing touch. And as has happened regularly recently, it's Zurawski again. And it's 3 goals and another 3 points for Celtic.
Just like to remind you, 2 minutes have been added. 2 minutes have been added.
.90 minutes played, 2 to go, and as far as both these teams go, I think you could blow the whistle any time you fancy. Celtic have more than done the job, and Aberdeen look a well-beaten side, and their 7-match unbeaten run in the SPL, Aberdeen coming to a conclusion with Zurawski getting the 3rd of Celtic's goals after Petrov and Maloney had inflicted earlier damage. Here is Sean Maloney. It's showtime. Gets it back from Wilson. Nakamura. Telfer. Zurawski. Aberdeen held out for 65 minutes, but 3 goals since, and maybe another one to come, because that's a corner. It took its last touch off Chris Clark on its way behind, and a bit of descent in the ranks, and a sign of the times. It's not been a happy day for Aberdeen. Sean Maloney, shooting chance. Came off Zurawski. It's Baldi. Maloney again. Now with Wilson. It's almost over here. Is there time for another goal? Zurawski, Petrov, back out with Telfer. 2 minutes added. Can blow the whistle now. Full time at Celtic Park. 3-0 for the home team. Another 3 points. Jimmy Calderwood's Aberdeen beaten by Gordon Strachan's Celtic. Stilian Petrov finally got Celtic going with his goal in 65 minutes. Sean Maloney made it 2. And it was that man, Maciej Zurawski, who scored again for 3-0 Celtic right at the end. This was a blistering finish from Stilian Petrov, from Zurawski's cutback to get the deadlock broken. Clark off Diamond and in from Maloney for 2-0 Celtic. No doubt about the outcome at that point. Icing on the cake, supplied by Keane and Petrov, the set-up men for Zurawski. 3 goals and 3 points for Celtic. 16 clear of Hearts at the top of the Bank of Scotland Premier League. Celtic 3, Aberdeen 0.